What I'm saying is New York, Vermont, they're not going to go along with what you want until they get what they want, which is resolution for those other cases. So we could be moving forward towards resolution of all these other cases.
And then they're going to bounce me around from state to state. I've seen this happen. I'm not.
You may end up there because of the non-action. That's where it may end up. But if we take action together, that's what we've been telling you all along. So I wanted to see where you were on those things, given that...
I'm all for moving things forward, but
days.
only if I have something concrete that I get out of it. Us discussing it in this room and saying, if you do this, we might be able to do this, that's not concrete, and it's not within your control.
But there was some stuff based on when Frank was in here and talked about his plans, some things that we could do to make it more concrete, to make it more definitive about who was going to handle the case or how it was going to be handled.
Right. But according to everything that I've researched since then, there's nothing concrete about that either. I mean, all you can give me is maybes. You can't give me for sures on what's going to happen with the information that I give you. I mean, we can't even say for sure that it's going to stay federal if I give information on other cases at this point.
Well, look, who's been straight with you and who's lived up to
you
that?
have. No, believe me, at this point, I appreciate that a lot, but that doesn't change the fact that, like I was saying before, the only thing I have at this point is information. Mm-hmm. Once I give up that information, I don't have it anymore.
You, I think the other day you said, well, you have a whole bunch of information, right? I mean, my impression is that you've given us, the stuff you've talked about with us is 1/10 of all the things you could tell us about.
Well,
am I right about that?
For the most part, it's just, been within the last year.
Yeah, so and is that one, put a figure on it for me, a percentage, give me a percentage so I just have an idea, so we talk.
I don't know. That depends on what you're counting, but...
Throw out a percentage, you're a smart guy.
I already told you less than a dozen. That's a pretty good percentage.
Okay, so you've told us about 1/10 of the things that you know.
Look, in the last year, a little over a year now, I did a lot of stuff. And I think I already mentioned I was kind of losing control. But, it goes back a long time. So there was a lot of stuff in the last 12, 13 months, but it goes back.
14 years, you said.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's actually good, because you had told us one time when we were talking, you had said, for 14 years was the number you used, that there was these other things. I mean, maybe if we could just sit here and chat about some of that for what happened 14 years ago. You don't even have to be specific.
What's significant about it?
Is there something significant to you for 14 years, or is that...
It's about the time you went in the military, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's significant, but, I mean, again, I can't... it started out with smaller stuff. It wasn't like I went out and started taking people right away.
Did the military change it?
I didn't do anything really drastic until I was out of the military, but I mean, no, there was some stuff that happened, even before I went in the military that,
So the military
started it out. I would have been better off if I'd stayed in the military, probably.
Yeah. Well, I think you said you wanted to stay, but is that when Lainey was going to be born? Is that right?
Yeah, I found out. I was going to re-enlist, but then I found out she was on the way, so...
Yeah, so you would have liked to have stayed.
Yeah.
Was that a good experience for you?
Yeah, overall, yeah.
And you had mentioned some buddies of yours. I mean, do you feel like you made some good friends at that time, or?
Not really. I mean, I got close to a couple guys, but it's not like we were really good friends.
Did you keep in touch with anybody afterwards?
Just periodically, not
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Well, I mean, maybe we can talk about what happened before the military, if it's not as big a deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Same old story. I'm sure you've heard it or at least read about it before.
Try us.
Well, just, just escalate from one thing to another. And it was only, it was a couple years before I went in the military that I realized I could do it and get away with it. And then after that, it just took me a few years to get up the nerve to actually do it, I guess.